In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to construct the S-link necklace that you see here. It's actually a combination of two links. The classic S-link, it's a very ancient link, goes back thousands of years, and a bridging link that allows me to incorporate beads. And I call this link the bone. The bone attaches the S-links together in such a way that they fall flat. If you didn't use the intervening link, the S-links would not fall correctly. And also the bone enables you to incorporate beads and elaborate upon the simple S-link necklace. The clasp that I use to complete most of my necklaces, including the S-link necklace that we have here, very nice, simple, delicate necklace. I use the simple fish hook in conjunction with the figure 8, both of which I have very detailed videos up on YouTube describing how to make these links. In my live classes, students will often eliminate the clasp part and make the necklace long enough to fit over their heads. They like that. Let's begin. I've started another S-link necklace. Instead of using glass beads this time, I'm using simple wooden beads. I like the look of that type of bead with the S-link. For the S-link, you're going to need to use 2-inch lengths of wire to make each individual link. And when I say 2 inches, I mean exactly 2 inches. The wire can't be 2 1/8, 2 1/4. The links just won't come out right. I'll cut a number of lengths to get started. We have our wire cut to 2-inch lengths. We have some beads. Our 3 standard pliers that we'll need to construct this necklace are our round nose jewelry pliers, our cutters. In this case, I'm using wire nippers. It's a very nice hard steel. Gives a beautiful cut. And our chain link needle nose pliers. I'll form the link with my needle nose chain link pliers. And what I do is I take the 2-inch length of wire, I grab it at the tip, as close to the tip as possible. Now keep in mind, I pointed out in a previous video that I've actually notched the very tip of the pliers. Let's see if you could see it. I don't know if you can. Oh, there you go. Maybe you can see it. Small little notch. What that does is it allows me to get a good grip on the wire. Otherwise, the wire would always slip. Then, I start to spiral the wire this way. See what I'm doing? The wire is not touching the pair of pliers. It's sort of orbiting around the tip of the pliers, maintaining the distance. See, it's orbiting around, maintaining a certain distance from the epicenter, which is the plier itself. Now I'm going to continue, guiding it with my finger and the inner coil begins to line up with the outer. That's where I stop. That's approximately the midway point. I make an effort to bring the outer part of the spiral as close to the inner coil as possible. I don't want to have a gap there. Now, at this point, I'm going to grab the opposite tip. See what I have? It's just about the halfway mark. It's a little more difficult to do this side because this sort of gets in the way, so you have to hold the wire in a different way. But after you try this a few times, I'm absolutely certain that you're going to get it. This link does take practice, like most of the links we've done in our videos take practice. Although this is simple, a very simple, beautiful link, you'll need to make a few before you get the feel of it. There we go. I'm going to stop right about there. The S-link. I do one more thing to finish it off. It's not quite done. Although the basic shape is in place, hammer it very lightly. What it does is it gives it a slightly different look, and it strengthens it. So I'm going to take my anvil, and then I'll tap it gently with a hammer. I'm not hitting it hard. What that achieves is a much stronger link. When you hammer the metal a little bit, it strengthens the metal. Let me point out two things. I hammer the wire because I like the look of the flattened wire, but also the hammering process hardens the wire significantly. Therefore, the necklace will hold its shape. What was originally soft wire now is much harder and will pull and distort. Having done this, I'm going to make maybe 2 or 3 more, and then we'll move on to the bone. Put that aside. Let's make another link. We grab the wire, the 2-inch length of wire, with the tip of our pliers, hold it firmly in place, and start to spiral the wire around the tip of the plier. There we go. It just reminded me of Robert Smithson's spiral jetty. Why don't you Google that? See what you discover. Robert Smithson's spiral jetty. There we go. Now, to complete it, we take our plier, and reverse the spiral. Nice. Then I flatten it a little bit more with my pliers. The final step, like we did with the previous link, is to tap it lightly with the hammer to flatten it out a bit. Now, as I'm doing that, if I notice any spreading action, and I do over here, I'll tighten the link up again. To tighten it, I simply grab the inner piece, get a firm grip. I don't have to do too much. I just coil it a little bit more. Nice. Study in contrast. I've started a new one, and just before I began the video, I made 2 links and I attached them using the bone. Now you've watched me make 2 additional links. What I need to show you at this point is how to make the bone. This is what the bone looks like before beads are attached. To make the bone, I cut a longer length of wire than I would normally use for the S-link itself, maybe 4 inches long. I'll cut a few pieces of that. Now, although the bone is fairly simple, it requires practice to get the feel of making it. How do you begin? You take your length of wire that's at least 4 inches long, position your round nose plier at about 1 inch from the end of the wire. Bend the wire out at approximately a 45-degree angle. See what we have here? The wire is bent out about a 45-degree angle. That bent out wire is going to enable you to center the loop. See how this loop is centered? That's why you established a 45, to center the loop. Now I pick up the wire, reposition my plier on the short length that I just bent out at a 45-degree angle, and I bend my wire like this around the plier's round jaw. There we go. See what I've done? Then I'll take my wire cutters, position my wire cutters on the inside of the loop that I just made. See where I'm placing them? They're on the inside of the loop. And I'll cut off the excess. The 45-degree angle that you saw me create enabled me to center the loop. Now at this stage, I can add a bead. I'm going to add one of these wooden beads. Because I want to continue with the combination of the S-link and the wooden bead in this particular necklace. And now I have to make the corresponding loop. I want to try to get a close-up view of this so you could see exactly what I'm going to do now. I added the bead. We made the first loop. Now, I'm going to take my round nose pliers. First thing I'll do is push it up against the bead, then I'll back it off a little bit. A little bit to permit me to bend the wire at a 45. If the pliers were right up against the bead, I wouldn't be able to do that bend. Now, my plier is in the right position to continue making the loop. So, watch carefully. I'm bending the wire up over the round jaw of the plier. See? Now, I take these wire nippers, the flat side, not the concave side. I insert that into the loop, pushing the flat side up against the loop itself. And now I'll cut off the excess wire. Take my flat nose and finesse the link a little bit. There we go. It's a beautiful way of integrating beads with the metal wire to make a necklace. To attach what I've just made, I have to open the loop. So I'll take my plier, hold the loop in my hand like that, and then swing it open from side to side like that. Attach my S-link and close it. On our way, we have a S-link and a bead, an S-link and a bead. The bead is attached with the bone. Let's get that one in place, and in order to do that, I'll take my pliers, open it up, and attach the S-link. Once it's attached, I close the bone, and we're on our way. Now what you have to do is make sure it's not going to unravel itself. What I mean by that is when you move it around like this, if that space is wide enough for the bone to slip out, you want to tighten that. And the way you tighten it is you take your plier and you bend in the link a little bit more. There you have it. Now I'm going to continue making this, and I'll show you what it looks like in the end. We started out with the example of our S-link incorporating glass beads. For this one, I'm building an S-link incorporating wooden beads. I just devoted a little bit of time to making the additional links. After flattening them out, I made sure that I didn't have any large gaps over here where the links can slide apart. So I took my pliers, my flat nose pliers, and tightened up these spaces. Now what I'm going to proceed to do is make a bunch of bones with beads attached so I could assemble my necklace. How many of these did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I'll make an equal amount of bones. My necklace ultimately will consist of 38 links. Now that I've prepared a sufficient number of S-links and bones with the accompanying beads, I'll proceed to link them all together to make an S-link necklace with beads. And in the case of the one I'm doing right now, with wooden beads. So, here we go. Now I'll randomly take assorted bones with beads and begin to attach them to the S-link. To open the closed loop, swing it from side to side, position it on your S-link, and close it. Stage, I'd simply like to point out that I've attached all the links, the S-link with the bone. I end the necklace with a bone and a bone with the bead attached. And to that I'll attach my clasps. For a detailed discussion on how to make the clasp, see my video that demonstrates it step by step. Right now I'll continue to work through it relatively quick, just so you can watch me complete the necklace. To make the fish hook part, cut a length of wire, at least 6 inches long. Crimp the top with my flat nose pliers. Then I'll use my round nose pliers to create the top loop. I like to take that and hammer it a bit to stiffen it up. My anvil, gently tap it. It's opening a little too much, so what I'll do is I'll close it back down and hammer it again. There we go. Now, using the same method that I used to build the bone, I'll bend the wire out on a 45-degree angle, like that. And now bend it up around itself. Nice little clasp. Trim it on the inside. flatten it out. Nice. How do I attach it? Swing it open. Place it on the bone and close it. Now, this could easily link, or I should say loop, into the other bone, and I can consider it finished, but I don't like that. For me, the clasp is like the period at the end of the sentence. It really ends the piece nicely, so I want to distinguish the link from the clasp here, so I have a good ending on this side too. What I'll do is I'll make a figure 8 link and attach it to this. That would be beautiful. To demonstrate the figure 8 link in this video would just be too long and make the video way too long. But I do have a very detailed demonstration available on YouTube for you to watch regarding the construction of the figure 8 link. There, a quickly made figure 8 link. It's a nice little thing. Now, to attach it, all I have to do, in this case, is open my bone, attach it, and close the bone. There we have it. A nice S-link necklace with wooden beads, ended with a combination of the fishhook clasp and the figure 8 link. Beautiful little thing. It was fun making the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it.